listening to The Sports Coma, your new #1 podcast on everything Saints, Pelicans, and a lot more. And now, here's your host, Big Q and the guys.
Welcome back to The Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. And we talking Saints, man. We just got through going through the recapping or analyzing the Saints picks in the draft from 1 through 7. Now we're going to look at some of these undrafted college free agents that the Saints did bring up. Of course, on the previous show we did toward the back end, we showed you, went down a segment and showed you a few of the guys that the Saints did sign and are signing to bring aboard to compete on the team. So I just love it. Big ups to the Saints for being even more aggressive in the undrafted signing period to fill holes that they feel that the team has. And of course, one of those holes got to be tight ends, because the Saints did a pretty damn good job of bringing in some undrafted tight ends. And DC said in the previous show he was a fan of at least two of them, Deion Yeld out of Western Kentucky.
Right.
And the other guy out of, what was it, D.C.?
Cam Surgeon from Wake Forest.
From Wake Forest. And, of course, the Saints did bring in a huge tight end.
Nate Wozniak. That's what he's talking about?
Wozniak. 6'9", 270 pounds. Nate Wozniak turned down camp invitations from Atlanta and Oakland to sign with the Saints. He only caught 28 passes in 3 years in college, but the Saints, they're going hard at them undrafted tight ends, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. DC, let's talk about a few of these undrafted guys, and I'm gonna go down the list real quick. And of course, you tell me which guy kind of piques your interest based upon the position.
I'm supposed to stop you while you're going on, like red light, green light?
Yeah, but give you a quick analysis on which ones that you might like. Of course, now this is the list that we have here. Temple Owls wide receiver Keith Kirkwood. He was a guy the Saints brung in 45 catches, 673 yards, had 7 touchdowns last year. South Carolina Gamecocks defensive tackle Tyler Stallworth. He had 5.5. I know off top. I know this is your dude off top. I ain't had to go that far. Go ahead, Tyler Stallworth.
A very disruptive player. Doesn't get a lot of sacks.
Excuse me, Taylor Stallworth. Sorry.
Doesn't get a lot of sacks per se from the D tackle position, but I think this is the guy that we probably could get and wind up in that D tackle rotation. I know we got Lowman, who is a defensive end, but we put him in D tackle and use him sometimes. But I mean, we just need one more guy to show up the rotation. The other three, Tyler Davidson, Oyumata, and Sheldon Rankins, are all good. But we just need one more guy to show up the rotation. I think that can be Stallworth. He played in the SEC, man. Some of the best linemen in the league or in college are in the SEC. And I think he had 50 tackles? I don't remember his stats, but that don't matter. When we watch the tape,
5.5 tackles for loss. That's for
5.5
loss.
tackles.
But he rotated in and out though.
Yeah, he's a rotational tackle already. So
right.
I mean, that's basically all what we need him to do. And I think he's a plug and play guy. He coming to do that. He was very effective as a rotational tackle. For him to rotate based on his effectiveness, from what I've seen, maybe he has a problem with stamina, which is fine. We need a fourth rotational tackle, so we can get him in camp and work him. I think this is going to be a guy that makes the team.
Offensive guard center Corey Helms out of Wake Forest, the Demon Deacons. Of course, he started 4 years between two programs. He had a family member illness that he transferred from one college to another, but a lot of experience for Corey Helms, versatile guy. Saints love those type of guys. Cincinnati Bearcat cornerback Lyndon Stevens, who bagged 6 interceptions and 20 pass deflections in his 4-year career in Cincinnati. Saints been after him for a while. Now they got him on the team. But Colorado Buffalo offensive tackle Jeremy Irwin is another player. Started 3 years, have been nominated to team captain twice while earning 2017 All Pac-12 team honorable mention. Tennessee Vole linebacker Colton Jumper. He had 14 tackles for loss of yards. He had 2 years as a starter and 4.5 sacks as a senior.
I think this is another guy, man. Special teams work, so you got to do that to make the team as an undrafted free agent most of the times. 4.5 40 was his best 40 time, but he averaged out to 4.6, so he's pretty quick. Good outside linebacker, SEC linebacker, so the pedigree on those guys. I know, right? Yeah. Colton Jumper gonna keep him jumping. You know, that's what we hoping. We got another linebacker that Sean Payton likes. So I think this guy, he reminds me from looking at him a little bit of Anzalone, but probably not such a freak as Anzalone. But I think he has a good shot at making the team. He's very productive, consistent, and smart linebacker. So I like Colton Jumper.
All right, Eastern Illinois long snapper A.J. Hantek. Another guy, Hantek, accepting an invitation to the Saints rookie minicamp practices and shares an alma mater with Saints head coach Sean Payton, always reaching back.
Gonna get somebody
Keeping it real, Eastern Illinois. Western Kentucky Hilltop tight end Deion Yelder. He had 52 catches, 688 yards as a senior while leading the team in 7 touchdowns.
I like Deion Yelder. What a lot of people don't know, you just quoted those stats. That's good stats, right?
That's pretty damn good stats.
First year being a tight end.
That's better stats than, isn't that better stats than, what's his name we have?
Kobe Fleener.
Different levels, but go ahead with your analysis. I'm sorry.
I'm going to start sticking up for Kobe Fleener, man. Everybody beating the shit
too
out
late.
of Kobe Fleener.
It's too late. Should have did that a year ago. He about to get out of here. June 1st cut, baby. Go ahead.
But, yeah, Yelder, man, I like his mentality, man. He reminds me of the guys we drafted. Lunch pail mentality guy. He'll run through a wall for his coach. He'll do whatever you ask him. He wants to help the team. And I think that's how they wind up playing him at tight end because, if I'm not mistaken, he played another position. But this guy didn't block kicks.
Yeah,
so he's willing to go on special teams. He's willing to do anything. Football player, man. Yeah, and he looked good at his tight end. He was very smooth. I seen him making catches, toe tapping and all that. And his first year as a tight end, man. 7 receptions, 600 yards. So he has the capability to improve drastically. I think this is another guy that makes the teams. John Phillips, watch out.
All right, here we go. Oregon Ducks defensive lineman Henry Mondu. Another big fella, tall interior lineman, 6'4", 297 pounds, had 17 tackles for loss, 9 sacks in the last 3 years as a starter. Ole Miss Rebels offensive lineman Durante Bolden was primarily a backup and spot
I didn't think I had
starting.
to tell you to stop that fast. I thought you was going to rattle off some more about the Oregon Ducks.
About Mondu? You want to add to that?
Mondu going to create a monsoon. Got another guy there, man. He can also come in and he can compete with Stalwart for that 4D tackle spot, man. Very, very productive guy. He played for Oregon, so everybody down in Davenport for his competition. So you know who he played for Oregon, man. A lot of good teams, and this dude had hell of a production. Very big guy, I guess, to talk about playing in the middle. But anything's possible. So I'm really rooting for him. I like him. He jumps off the tape. Very good selection.
All right. Thank you, DC. Primarily backup as a starting left guard who appeared in 41 games. Talking about Ole Miss Rebel Durante Bolden. Moving on, Nebraska Cornhusker offensive lineman David Neville. He's a huge tackle, 6'8.5", 333 pounds from Canada. Appeared in 31 games over 4 years. Accepted an invitation to the Saints' upcoming rookie camp. Big old dude. Wake Forest tight end Cameron Suringney. He is a accomplished receiving threat. Collected 174 catches, 2,075 yards, 21 touchdowns as a starter, and invitated Saints running camp. Go ahead, DC. What you got on this man?
He's not signed. They invited him to the.
What is his name? How do you pronounce that?
Cam Surgeon, I think.
Is that Surgeon?
Yeah, like Surgeon.
Oh, okay, all right.
Man, I watched the tape on this dude, and I'm scratching my head wondering how he didn't get drafted. Did he smoke weed or something?
Somebody dropped the ball on this guy because he was super productive. I don't know why. Man. He might have something in this.
I don't see him blocking a lot, so maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, pass.
But as a passing threat, man, this dude is off the charts. He's better than Yeldon passing. So
yeah, he is.
Maybe these guys compete against each other. I don't know. Maybe he got weak skin. Maybe crazy. I don't know why he didn't get drafted, but he's a hell of a football player, man. So I'm really excited to see what he's going to do in training camp.
All right, moving ahead. Safety J.T. Gray. It was another guy. The Saints. Gray led the Bulldogs last year in pass deflections with 8. Was third in total tackles with 64. The Saints get him. Tennessee wide receiver Josh Schmidt accepted a rookie minicamp invitation. He caught 63 passes for 764 yards. Had 5 touchdowns in his 5-year career. South Florida Bulls running back Dearness Johnson. He was invited to the Saints rookie minicamp after setting a new school record in all-purpose yards. He had 4,886 yards and receptions by a running back. He had 73. Ohio State Buckeyes quarterback J.T. Barrett makes the team. Barrett accepted a rookie minicap long shot to make the roster. It's also being updated.
No, I got to stop you right there.
That he agreed to a 3-year contract.
There you go.
And which is typical for undrafted free agents. Whether Barrett sees the agreement to its end remain to be seen. Very interesting thing. DC 9,434 yards, 104 touchdowns, and just 30 interceptions in his career. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Let's use the Tim Tebow rule. He had 147 touchdowns. I don't remember how many interceptions he had. But he only had 6 losses his whole college career. That's insane.
But did not get drafted.
It's insane, man.
Yeah.
This dude is very productive. A lot of people say he can't throw. I like to disagree. He's not the best deep ball thrower, but he can put the ball down the field. So hopefully the Saints can work with him on that. But if you can mold this guy up, sit him for maybe 3 years and shape him, man, this may be our quarterback to hand the reins over to if Taysom Hill doesn't pan out. I'm very excited about JT Barrett. He reminds me of, I got to put a label on him, Aaron Brooks.
I don't see it.
Watch the tape.
I've seen him play. I don't see Aaron Brooks in it.
Fast, can escape the pocket, can make some throws.
He's an athlete, no doubt about it.
Can make some throws. Not flashy. Doesn't really just fly off the screen at you, but very productive. Same way Aaron Brooks was.
DC, you know what? This guy was tremendous last year at Ohio State. He put on a hell of a year. He did. Best year. He had a 64.7% completion percentage.
That's amazing.
That's amazing. He had
especially
29
for a running quarterback.
Right, absolutely. 2,939 passing yards, averaged 8 yards a throw, 35 touchdowns, and only 9 interceptions. 162.2 QB rating. JT Barrett is now with the Saints. That's a major move. So big ups to the Saints. Let's roll on and get the rest of these guys in here before we go to break, and then we'll go over.
There's also guy I gotta talk about.
We also Nate Wozniak, 6'9", 270.
That's your dude.
Right, big old guy. 28 passes over 3 years in college. Quarterback Jesse Ertz, another guy that's a brother of the tight end that plays for the Eagles. He is also there. Southeastern lineman Mahir Tahuma used to play with the LSU Tigers. He's here. And Florida State Seminoles wide receiver Erman Lane is another candidate that also judged. We also have the other quarterback that's coming aboard here. If I could just pull his name up, the fella from Troy, DC. Do you have that information on the man from Troy?
The guy from Troy, you talking about Brandon Silvers.
Brandon Silvers
is definitely with the Saints, and this guy, man, it's scary what he can do. Okay, 4 years.
Yeah, let's go to break first, and we'll talk about Mr. Silvers on the other side to break. You listen to the Sports Coma. Stay with us.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is the Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.